Welcome back. In this video, I'll be explaining how the custom enchanting system for the map Isolated Isle works. I'm not going to be going over functions because this is kind of map jam code-esque. The functions are really messy, and I'd rather just sort of explain how it works. So let's go ahead and get into it. So this enchanting tab you see in front of me here is actually a Stonecutter. If you look in F3, I'm looking at a Stonecutter, and this book right here is a custom animation that TS made. I don't know if he's going to make a video explaining how it works or whatever, but it's just a custom animation that plays. It's as close as we could get to the enchanting book using just sort of vanilla stuff. So as you see, it opens up. It's iffy sometimes, but most of the time it looks pretty good. But that's whatever. So this enchanting table using the Stonecutter had a lot of issues. First of all, Stonecutters don't abide by the do limiting crafting game rule. So you can't just give and take recipes from players to have them only be able to do specific recipes for different enchanting levels. So as you can see, we have 2 levels, 4 levels, 6, and 8 levels. You can't just give players recipes because the Stonecutter, as I said, does not abide by the game rule. So right now I don't have any recipes with this flint axe, but if I give myself XP add at S 2 levels, whenever I put it in here now, I have a recipe here, and then if I give myself 2 more levels, I should have, I have to step away and then come back. Then I have 4. And what's not, step away and come back again, have 6 levels, and so on. To actually see what's going on, I'm going to enable advanced tooltips, which I usually disable while playing this map to keep the magic alive, because this map has a lot of resource pack tech that becomes really obvious whenever the resource pack's disabled. So the flint axe by default is a stone pickaxe. That is for gameplay reasons, but whenever I open up the thing here, it becomes a stone hoe. That is because to change the recipes the player has available based on their experience level, we change the item to a different ID based on what their experience level is. And for most tools, we just change it to a different tool of the same durability. But for some, we can't do that. To do the switching of the ID, by the way, we just use the inventory restoring system. I've showcased something like that in the past. TS has a GitHub repository for a system that does that. I'll link that in the description down below. Basically, we store the player's inventory into a storage space, change the ID of specific items into different items based on the player's experience level, and then restore the player's inventory with the updated IDs. If the item has a different maximum durability, we do some calculations to change the durability of the item so that the bar looks the exact same. The durability when you have tooltips shown will be different, but the durability bar will not change. And then whenever the player leaves, we basically do the same thing but in reverse. And if the tool has a different durability, we restore a saved durability that we store into the item's NBT somewhere else back into the durability. And then, as I said, we flip all of the IDs back to the default ID. So that's the bit that changes. As I said, we are using a Stonecutter here, so whenever you select here, you can then see what your enchantment is, and all of the enchantment outputs are spawn eggs. So let's enchant a level 2 just so I can show other things. So whenever I click this, it then detects that I click that, and then gives me a stone axe, with the flint axe, with an enchantment on it. All the enchantments are lore-based. All the tags on these are hidden. The enchantment glint for this is actually a custom animation. DS actually made the enchantment animations, the enchantment glint. It actually turned out pretty well, looks pretty convincing. Now, this detects whenever you click it, but also if you, let me stand back a little bit, if you drop it out of the crafting table, it'll drop the item, and then it'll be on the ground, but whenever you pick it up, it'll detect that you have the item in your inventory, and then it'll give you the item that you would have gotten from that enchantment. So it's recommended that you just click it. You can also shift click it into your inventory. basically how this detection works is also stonecutters do not increment the item crafted score. So if you have a scoreboard score for that, it does not increment the score. So you have to detect it by doing what I actually do is clear at S and enchantment output 0. And that is a tag that just has all the spawn eggs that I use for this. So the actual list of spawn eggs is right here. As you can see, all this is relanged into these names here. Oh, whoops, that's a whoops there. I guess that is just missing, and the lang for this the resource pack was bugged. I probably just have an old version. A lot of the tech in this map is resource pack stuff. As you can see, this is a little bit of a nightmare. But if I drag a spawn egg into my inventory, I get the enchantment there. But as you can see, that's all the spawn eggs. This is actually a custom model because the items of spawn eggs, if I drop this on the ground, you can see that this is actually an item model. It's just 2 planes. One plane is the axe, then the other one is the enchantment icon. So that's basically how this works. Let's actually take a look at this without the resource pack, just so you can see exactly what's going on inside the Stonecutter. So inside the Stonecutter here, let's give myself some more levels. Whenever as you can see, my pickaxe, my stone axe here, then gets changed into a stone shovel. Whenever I put it in here, I have some gaps on top here. The actual inventory, or the actual Stonecutter thing here, this is hidden by a font object. And then right here is the outputs. So Stonecutters actually sort alphabetically. The output of Stonecutters sort alphabetically by block, or they start with empty recipes. So recipes that have no output or an invalid output are sorted first, then blocks are sorted alphabetically, then items get sorted alphabetically. So we have a predictable way of, or we know exactly how Stonecutters sort, so we don't have to worry about the Stonecutter having weird outputs. Crafting tables, their recipes sort arbitrarily every single reload. Whenever I talk about the custom crafting system for this map, I'll get into that. But for this, we were lucky in the fact that the Stonecutter sorts its output items alphabetically. So that's basically everything about the enchanting system that I wanted to cover. I'll be having more videos on the tech of this map in the future. Also, I will have a link in the description down below for the advancement screen map that we used for this, that we made for a different map, but we implemented it into this. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I will catch y'all next time.